I'm Dylan, and this is the Blind-Sighted Perspective Podcast, where blind and sighted perspectives are given on a number of topics, with my friend Jared as a co-host in a casual style. My life since I went blind at 22, I will tell you about it. Welcome back to the Blind-Sighted Perspective Podcast. I'm Dylan.
And I am Jared.
This is episode 13, and we said this in episode 11, but now it is 100% official. Our YouTube channel is up. It is up to date with the podcast episodes, and it will be having normal content, including, if you guys want to check this out, our YouTube channel is The Blind-Sighted Perspective. There is a video on there of me playing our podcast intro if you're interested in watching that. It's only like 60 seconds long, so not too long, but yep, just wanted to plug that and let everyone know that we are a go.
With his slick shades.
And we will upload on there. We'll be uploading every Monday and Wednesday on top of the podcast going on there. But anyway, how are you doing, Jared?
I'm doing good today, Dylan. I had a great day. I worked hard at jiu-jitsu, and that always makes a good day. Yes.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Dylan? How's your day been so far?
Well, I didn't get a lot of sleep. But otherwise, I'm real excited to do these videos and stuff. So, got a lot to look forward to.
That's good, Dylan.
But without further ado, we will go to the blind-sided story, which is whether, like, maybe I tell a blind story, or I have a sighted story, or a story Jared has, or a story we have together. That is the blind-sided story. So, Jared, what story do we got today?
All right, so today will be a story about me, the sighted, and I'll pose it in a question before I begin. How did I get into martial arts?
Oh, yes.
Oh, thank you for asking, Jared. I actually have a lot of friends who are not into martial arts or anything like that, and it kind of surprises me. Now, Dylan's more understandable why, he has his own thing anyway, but to stay fit.
But I mean, well, I don't know if you do it just to stay fit. You do it because you like it.
I do it because I like it to stay fit and
honestly,
self-defense reasons.
Honestly, most people aren't that active to like do martial arts and stuff. You're probably a minority. Maybe in our town, I guess. I don't know around the whole world or anything like that.
You're right. You're definitely right about around the town. I'll give you that one. I have to agree with you there. But how it started long
ago.
So what got me interested? Besides the fact that nobody wants to be attacked and lose the fight, right? You don't want to be mugged, this, that.
No.
And you're under 18, so you can't get your gun.
Unless that's someone's fetish or something.
Right. You're under 18, you can't get like a gun permit for protection. Now that's in serious cases. Realistically, a lot of the time you probably won't need that.
Story.
But say in school or something, right? Like the bully just beats you down, gives you swirlies, wedgies, stuff like that. Dylan knows.
Well, I actually don't, but
I'm just kidding. But so
Jared's talking from experience.
But so me and my brothers, we all get along now. We're all adults and stuff, but we used to fight all the time.
Do all of you actually get along now?
Oh yeah, we do. Jacob?
No, I know you always were okay with him.
No, Jacob and me were the worst ones.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you're the other one. I don't remember his name. I know it starts with a J.
Yeah, we all do.
But one that stayed home all the time and wasn't doing anything.
Joel and Justin.
Justin, that was it.
No, yeah, we've had our ups and downs. We've been, kind of fought each other before.
Anyway, sorry, I'm going on.
Oh no, you started something, Dylan.
But go ahead and continue.
All right. But Jacob and me were the worst ones, but everything's good now. So we used to get into fights all the time, and he would always he weighed less than me too, and he would always just, whoop my tush. Do you like that, Dylan?
Yeah, censorship.
And
you want to know about that real quick? Sorry, I'm stopping you again, but I can notice when I edit the podcast, I've listened to all of them, and I can tell when we're trying to censor ourselves, and we'll just, like, I'll say darn or something. It's really kind of funny because I know and I can tell that we're censoring ourselves, but it's for the greater good.
That's just swell and awesome.
But I mean, and in case we actually do slip, I have my
Your
my
beep.
my bleep sound. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
You're good. So it all started when I was a young lad. I believe it started with. When did it? I think I started wrestling first. So, no. Okay, now I got my story straight, Dylan. I got this. So it started. I went to the YMCA because they were hosting jiu-jitsu classes, and I wanted to just quit getting beat up by my brother, and there were some people at school. I didn't know if eventually they would try to fight me, stuff like that.
Right.
So
so jiu-jitsu was your first.
Jiu-jitsu, I believe, actually was my first. And it's funny because I didn't even think about that until now.
This podcast brings out many things.
Many, many memories. But it was traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu, so wrist locks, stuff like that, which there are in, anyway, so it was a little different, but I started there, and it didn't last long because I was 15, and I would take an electric scooter there, and then one day the scooter got stolen, so I couldn't go anymore.
The hot rod.
So then a year or two later, I had joined wrestling, and
right.
And wrestling was a big deal.
And I remember when you were in wrestling.
And the thing is, I wasn't even great at wrestling, but I loved it.
I remember one time you were over and you were very worried that you were going to be over your weight.
Yeah, because you order a Pizza Hut pizza, Dylan. I couldn't resist that.
But you were like, I don't think I'm going to make weight.
Oh, but I was devouring that pizza. I'll tell you what. I ran it off the next day, like trash bags and stuff, which is not healthy. I do not recommend that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I did wrestling for a while, and then in between wrestling season, I wrestled 2 years.
So what made you want to start doing these things, like wrestling?
Okay, so
jiu-jitsu?
wrestling, for example. So jiu-jitsu, to begin with, the first time, it was I want to get better at, defeating the great opponents, my older brother.
Right.
Second one,
every younger brother, I think, wants to.
Oh, yeah, you're right about
there
that.
There was a time that I was sick of being weaker than my older brother, and I wanted to be stronger than him. And I think that's every little younger brother kind of scenario.
Oh yeah. So wrestling, actually, it wasn't for that's not why I joined it. At first I thought I'm like, people in singlets, I'm like, oh, this won't be useful on the street. This won't be useful in fights, which it turns out it really extremely is. So I actually got talked into joining wrestling by my friends. Well, our friends.
Was it Garrett?
Garrett, yes.
Garrett talked me into wrestling too in 6th grade. I told you about that story.
I believe you
I
have.
went to one practice.
Yeah, you did.
I was done. Geez, Garrett, how dare?
So Garrett and John L.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
So they had talked me into it. And the thing is, in high school, I didn't really have a group. And I seen that as an opportunity to be able to have a group.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of what.
From what I remember, you were everywhere.
I was everywhere. So come to, that ended up becoming my group. I joined wrestling, JV 1 year, varsity the next, and everything just started. I enjoyed high school after that. You know what I mean? Like at first, I didn't enjoy high school at all, but after having like this group and things, and the thing is, from me just wanting to be in a group,
you finally
of high school,
finally fit in.
Yeah, well, yeah. But after high school, at that point, I'm just like, I don't even care about a group. I love wrestling. So, so outside
the sport evolved more.
Oh yeah, like it went from me trying to, fit in to me actually not care about fitting in, but I loved wrestling. When you get decent, you're able to do these takedowns and stuff. You're like, "Oh, I never done that before." Like, here, watch out, world, here comes the new me. In between the wrestling, I also did some boxing. And boxing I did boxing for probably...
I remember that.
a year and a half to 2 years, honestly.
Can I interject here? Yeah, I remember when you were into boxing. I actually I got into boxing a little bit myself then because of you. You were talking about it. I watched this really cool anime called Hajime no Ippo, which is probably my top 3rd favorite anime of all time. And it got me into boxing, and it just so happened at that time Jared was going into it. And so I would like practice like the jabs and stuff. I even went to, remember when I went to one of your boxing practices?
Which was this at the Pal Club, Live Right? Or
No, Live Right.
Live Right. Then I believe it. I can't remember. Don't take that personally, but I believe it.
Right. No. You were allowed to bring me.
It probably got knocked out of me.
Yeah, I was there. I was there when one of your practices because you were allowed to, and we were talking about your coach, and I was watching people practice and stuff because I thought about joining myself. But yeah, I just wanted to interject that. So I have a little bit of interest in boxing myself, where I did a little bit practicing myself. So, but sorry about that. Go on.
You're good. So the reason for so you got the reason for jiu-jitsu to begin with. You got the reason for wrestling to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
For boxing to begin with, my grandfather, my mom always told me he was a boxer, nothing professional. Like he knew how to box, but he would do it amongst friends for bets and stuff like that. Like not good stuff.
Oh, I see.
But
underground fighting,
kind of. But that was part of it. My mom would always tell me, "Oh, you're a lot like your grandfather," stuff like that. So I'm like, "Oh, I really want to be like him now. I'm going to join boxing." But also to top that off, one time, well, there's been a couple times I got mad and I would like hit something and like my wrist would bend and I'm like, I'm never punching again. It really hurt. So then, also to actually learn how to punch, I joined boxing.
And you never learned that lesson, I'm sure.
No, I don't hit things. And it's not like hit walls or lockers. I would actually, we had a punching bag. I would just hit that.
Oh, well, lucky you.
So nothing like,
most people, it's them versus the wall and the wall wins every time.
Every time.
Every time.
But even hitting the punching bag, I thought I broke my wrist.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that hard.
I would imagine if you'd hit it just wrong, wrists can be pretty fragile.
That's true. So that's how boxing got started. It was more family based on top of I really did want to learn how to punch in case I needed to.
Right.
And so then it honestly ended with wrestling. So boxing and wrestling were back and forth. And then after wrestling, I had gotten out and I was actually looking for a place to wrestle on Google and whatnot nearby. But I found out for the most part, where I am currently, where I live, you either need to be in college to continue wrestling or high school, but being graduated, or like talk to your high school coach, so you can go back and help the kids.
Basically, there was nowhere for you to wrestle.
Right. So there's nowhere for me to wrestle. So I met this guy at work. His name was Anthony, and he was running his own BJJ school. And
But Jared, what does BJJ stand for?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
In English, please.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Thank you.
And so he talked to me about how much it's like wrestling and stuff, and I got pretty interested. I tried it. I liked it. And then eventually...
Because they're similar, right?
Oh, they're very similar. Now, there's differences, but they're very similar when it comes to every martial art out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion. So... and then eventually he closed his school down so he could teach so he could teach more over in Indy at the place he was going. And so he invited me to go with him and I went, and now I go into Indy to train for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, you drive to Indy every time
yes.
you go? How long of a drive is that?
45 to 50 minutes.
Ooh, you're really dedicated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it. And that's how I got interested in all of those, which I have done. I am not ever able to, I don't know how to kick, never tried kicking. So that's the one thing I'm missing out on.
Oh, like the kick.
Like Taekwondo,
kick
kickboxing,
martial arts,
things like that, yeah.
Now, didn't you say you were doing Japanese jiu-jitsu again?
Oh, yes, actually, you're right. It's more judo-based, but there's
Judo.
Japanese jiu-jitsu in there. I'm also doing that. I forgot about that. I do that once a week towards the night. So I am doing that on top of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over in Indy.
Boy, your schedule's getting too full, man.
I know. I'm loving it, though, every minute. So that is how I got interested and how I got to the point I am now, and that's why I'm, pretty active.
Now, those are new reasons. I was under the impression that you wanted to do some of those because of Kenichi.
Oh man, yeah, he definitely helped. I'll tell you what. During my boxing thing, so Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple, great anime.
Yep.
The boxer guy, right? So that's when I was thinking about starting boxing and stuff like that. When I seen him go, I'm like, oh, I gotta start boxing.
Boxer.
And I thought about Muay Thai, stuff like that. No, the blue-haired guy was just the boxer.
Yeah. Well, wait. Well,
he was just a boxer.
Oh, you're talking about Takeda. All right.
Yes, I can't remember his name, but like I just thought it was so cool.
Yeah, the one who's just the boxer. He's kind of a normal person.
That anime helped motivate me to stick with boxing.
Well, actually, the funny thing is the big guy who does Muay Thai, I think his hair is also blue.
Oh, is it? I can't remember.
I think, or it's like silver, one of them. But yeah, Takeda's like Takeda the Puncher.
Takeda.
But yeah, so that also, it's Kenichi, like we've said before, is a great anime. You guys should check it out if you can find it anywhere.
I don't know if it's still on Netflix.
It's not.
Is it not?
Honestly, actually, the sad part about it is like Funimation had the rights to it, but they gave the rights away. So the only way you can watch it is illegally, or because scalpers, because now it's not in print. The DVDs for it are now like hundreds of dollars because you can't get it anywhere else.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know those people on eBay who will just triple the price because now you can't get it. Yeah, because I wanted to buy it. I wanted to buy the series, and then I was like, oh, it's not in print. And then some people are selling it for like $200 a season. I was like, oh, okay, well then.
Goodbye, Kenichi.
Yeah, I'm like, I like the series, but not that much.
I'm surprised you can't find episodes on. Have you tried YouTube?
You might be able to find it on YouTube.
Maybe not every single episode, but
I haven't checked on YouTube. Like Kenichi's a 50-episode series, but maybe.
I know that's why I said not all of them, just maybe some of them.
But yeah, anyways,
that pretty much is the story. Yep. That wraps it up, and we can move on
to the blind hat pull. The blind hat pull is when Jared pulls out pieces of paper with numbers on them that corresponds to topics that we talk about. We pull out 2 topics per episode. So, Jared, pull out the first number. I don't even know how many numbers we have left. We might need to work on that or check up on that.
I pulled out 33.
33.
And let me see what 33 is, Dylan. All right, Dylan. 33. Let me get my handy-dandy pen real quick so I can mark this out.
Okay.
33 is, where would you love to visit?
Okay, so I will go first on this, I guess. Because I've talked about how I like, JRPG games. I love anime. I love Japanese culture and Japanese music and so much. I would love to visit Japan. It would be a very expensive endeavor. Also, I've never been on a plane before. So that would be the first time if I did do that. But Japan is a big one. I've always wanted to go. And I wouldn't mind going to other places too, like somewhere in the UK, Greece, just, a few different countries and stuff like that. But Japan would be my number one that I would want to go visit. What about you, Jared?
All right, so it's really tough. I kind of like learning about religions, and whether it's, Greek mythology kind of stuff or Egyptians.
Right.
It's really hard because when you go to a certain place, like say Egypt, the pyramids, and you go there and you look at these pyramids and they say they don't know how they were made, stuff like that, you know what I mean? It
is very interesting.
Being right there, you get a different feeling from seeing it in pictures. When you're right there, you start looking for clues, and your mind and you feel so, oh man, this is so amazing. How did they do this? If a human didn't do this, how is it possible? If humans did this, how did they do it?
I wouldn't have thought Egypt would be on your radar.
Well, just anything with bigger, more has, you can put the word ancient behind it, and it kind of interests me. And then for, Greece, just the whole, Greek thing. But if I had to pick one place, and here's the thing though too, when we talk about Japan, I think pictures I see are super beautiful. I love music. I love the culture, like you said. Right. They seem, now this is from a perspective that's never been there, and I don't honestly don't know much about how they really are there, but
Yep.
from what I understand their culture is like, it seems very respectful and honorable.
It is. I've never been there, but I've heard of people who have been there. I forgot to turn off the heat again. Oh my god. Whatever. It didn't come out that much in the episode, so it's whatever. But they are very, very respectful. For the most part, respect is a big thing. Like people like are supposedly very, very nice.
Now, if this is the case,
Actually, and one interesting thing that's a culture thing that you don't know about is that you're not supposed to walk around and eat.
oh yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, like you can do it, but
It's probably just looked down upon kind of thing.
It's frowned upon. You're like if you go in and grab something from a vending machine, which is they're everywhere in Japan. You're supposed to sit down and eat instead of walk. I don't know why, or maybe it's considered rude to walk around eating food. I don't know, but that's just a culture thing. You're supposed to sit down. Of course, it's not a law that's set in stone, but it's an interesting thing.
I would probably have to, if I had to pick one place, agree with you and say I would want to travel to Japan and see what that is like. And that's kind of, I know I just mentioned that I like ancient and learning and whatnot,
Right.
but to be able to witness something like that where, there's respect all around.
There's some ancient stuff in Japan too.
And there is, you're right, temples and whatnot. So
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be losing out on that.
No.
So yeah, I would have to pick Japan.
Oh, maybe in the future, me, you, Sierra, and maybe we can figure something out.
You left Chelsea out, I noticed.
No, I was.
I know. I'm just giving you a fun time.
I didn't mean that. I meant like you both. Like I was gonna. You stopped me before I was gonna say that. Maybe all four of us in the future could like split it or something and go to Japan. I don't know if she wants to go to Japan.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that could be one thing because I know it's really expensive, so it's good to split costs. But I guess I'll ask you another thing. Have you ever been on a plane?
No, I have not.
Okay,
So that is on top of yours too.
we both would
that
be,
would be the first time we would travel plane.
that's be. The
I would
first,
just cruise.
We'd be so.
No, I wouldn't do that either. I would actually prefer a plane to be on a boat. Honestly.
Yeah, we would be so scared together though. But anyways, yeah. Okay. So that
Is one question.
One question. You can pull the second question.
I did, and ironically, we got 32. Or not ironic, just coincidentally.
All right. I don't know how many are left. So.
Okay, so 32 is your favorite subject in school. What was it, Dylan?
I have to think about it. Do you have one that you can talk about first while I think about it?
Yeah, I do, and
Go for it.
I got decent grades in it. I like figuring things out. All right. Like I love puzzles, and geometry
Oh dear.
was actually like a puzzle to me. I liked finding sides and stuff like that. The Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b
boy.
squared equals c squared. I like doing that stuff, and I still actually, Khan Academy. It's a free app for iPhone. I don't know if it's. I'm sure
Yeah. Who knows?
but that actually. It's like free schooling that you can download and learn different things. And I actually recently just did trigonometry on that in my free time, like on break and stuff, just because I enjoy it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nerd.
So I would have to say algebra, it was okay, but I mean, geometry was my favorite. I would have to say. Let me think. Psychology. Who doesn't love psychology? Who doesn't love what other people are thinking? But if I had to pick a favorite, it would be geometry. Now, my English teacher, I only liked English because of her. But other than that, no, not like weirdly. I'm talking like just very nice, helpful teacher.
Okay.
But yeah, geometry. How about you, Dylan? You think of it?
Well, I hated it all, but I would maybe say world history. I don't know. Our teacher was very good at like making it interesting, and I just thought some world history was interesting. I was like kind of interested in it, depending on like what time period and stuff it was. Of course, I remember nothing about anything that I learned, but it was still probably the most enjoyable class I think I ever took. Now, For those who don't know, please don't look down on me, but I did not pass school. I actually dropped out halfway through 10th grade. And so had I actually stayed at my school and went through that, I could have a different favorite subject, because in those last couple years, I know you get to actually do fun classes that you actually want to do, that you get to choose to do, right? So who knows, like home ec, cooking could have been my favorite class, or I think I did a strength training class. I think I picked like a strength training kind of class, but who knows? So I maybe would say world history, that or maybe PE. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really care for school. But
Study hall was your favorite class?
no, that was kind of boring, honestly.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, that's pretty much it. But with that has been the blind-sighted hat pull, the blind hat pull, and with that, I guess we can move on to the blind-sighted question, and I'm gonna make this spiel a little shorter. So, if you want to send us any questions or concerns or anything at all, you can send those to our email, tbspp@yahoo.com, lowercase, if you just want to send us anything there. Otherwise, if you want to ask us a blind question or a sighted question or whatever, you can do that in the YouTube comments of whatever the main video podcast episode is up. And that'll probably be easier for everyone involved to just do it by comments. But if you want to send us an email, go for it. Anyways, so, Jared, what is the blindsided question
All right,
today?
Dylan, so this question is directed towards you. The question is, so we were talking about my martial arts. That's how I stay fit. How do you stay fit, Dylan? Do you work out?
Yes. Actually, I've had a long history with working out, believe it or not. I actually started working out when I was 12. And the thing is, had I kept up with it or whatever, I would be very strong by now. But I was on and off throughout all those years of training. And I did different kind of routines and trainings and whatnot, but I just never stuck with it. So, but I do work out, and being blind now, it's kind of like, well, is it harder to work out being blind? And it's not really.
That was my next question.
I just have to be careful, right? And there's a couple things that I got to do. So basically, I can't really tell you exactly how I work out in a sense of what I exactly do, because it always changes, right? You always change your workout. But I'll do, push-ups or something like that, a chest workout, like something for the chest, something to hit all the muscles. And I mainly use dumbbells for if I want to add weight and stuff. And I have those hexagonal iron dumbbells, and I have 3 sets of them. I have 10s, 20s, and 30s. And obviously I can tell between them because each one gets bigger and bigger. And also you can they have the numbers on them, so I can kind of feel the numbers. And I do also have dumbbells where you can put weight plates on them. Obviously, it's kind of the same thing. You can feel the size differences to know which is which. I do have barbells, but barbells are a little more tricky because, you could hit something. They're longer. They're a little more harder to control in my case. So I have more chance of destroying something by using barbells. I can use them, but it can't be like a super long one. But I just prefer dumbbells, so it's easier. So that is how I work out being blind. You just got to be careful and just figure it out. But it's not real difficult. You just kind of do it.
And you memorize where things at. So if you're, you know what I mean? Like everything, other than your workout changing, your equipment pretty much stays where it's at and stays the same. So,
for the most part.
Not tripping over anything and whatnot.
It stays to the side, to this side of the room,
Gotcha.
basically. But do you have anything else to add to that?
Actually, no. So, okay, I do. Is there anything you do cardio-wise?
Oh, me and cardio are not good friends. I have always hated cardio.
Because technically, that's all I do.
Well, here's the thing: you can turn a weightlifting workout into a cardio workout at the same time.
Is that what you do? Am I catching you up?
I have done one.
Oh boy.
I have done one that
Never
was
going back.
more no, it's I'm trying to balance it and figure things out because I'm getting back into working out, getting stronger, building myself up after like having all those surgeries and not working out and stuff. But it's basically, I don't know if you know what a superset is.
Explain.
Oh God, do you know what a superset is? I'm guessing you know.
I think I do. But
Basically, it's where you do multiple exercises one after the other.
oh, so no break time in between?
Nope.
Gotcha.
It's like, yeah, it's called supersetting. So basically, for example, say this is a good one. Say I do shoulder press with dumbbells. Then immediately after I do that, I go into doing squats while holding the dumbbells. And then after that, you go and do maybe deadlifts with the dumbbells do you know what a row is? Yes. Yeah, you do that, and you do that as a circuit. That's actually the circuit that I actually did. And you basically pick a weight, and you do like a certain amount of reps, and you just do all those exercises one after the other. Once you finish like the circuit, you do get a rest, but no rest in between, and it freaking like just wins you. It's really taxing. So if you do it that way, it's really good because it saves a lot of time because you're not resting. You're just bam, 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 hitting all the exercises, rest a little bit. So you're getting cardio, strength training, and in a shorter amount of time. So,
all right.
But if you want more focus, then you would do the normal typical workout because once you get super winded like that, you're not going to be able to focus on doing the exercises completely right and focusing on the muscles. That would probably be the drawback.
See, I can actually relate that to BJJ because when you get wore out and tired, the technique's there halfway. You're just trying to hit this thing, and you're right about that.
Yeah, yes. Like after I'm on the third or fourth round, my performance goes to crap, and I'm just trying to get through. So that would be the downside. But yeah, but with that, Jared, that has been the blindsided question. And also with that has been the Blindsided Perspective podcast. Thank you all so much for listening. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, The Blindsided Perspective on YouTube. And again, thank you all for listening. We will see you guys in the next episode.
Adios.